Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and Assalamu alaikum viewers. This is me, your host Abira Said Filantin Wali, and I am a level 1 student at Rehan School, Islamabad, Barakah campus. So, today is very special guest with us. Name is Carma. So, let's start our interview. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am also great. So, please introduce yourself for my audience.
My name is Carma Spence, and I work with established experts to help them write the right book so that they can grow their business with more clients, more speaking opportunities, more media, and better partnerships.
Okay, nice. So my next question is this: what inspired you to become an author?
I fell in love with writing as a toddler, and I love books. I love still telling stories, and honestly, I love seeing my name in print, which is why I've spent most of my career being a writer. And I think the earliest memory was when I was a child. I was growing up in East Africa, in Kenya, because my father was teaching African history at Kenyatta College, now Kenyatta University. And we were vacationing at Mombasa Beach. And my father wrote my name in the sand. And he said, "Karma, what is this word I just wrote?" And I looked at it and I tried to sound it out. Ka-ah-ah. And then when I realized it was my name, I got all excited, and I have loved my name in print ever since.
Okay, nice. That's great. Amazing. So my next question is this: how did you develop the author's which concept?
Say that one more time.
I'm saying this: how did you develop the author concepts?
You mean like my own books, or do I help?
Oh
How I
yes,
help? Okay,
yes.
so for many years, I just did the book that was on my heart. So my first book was about bundt cakes, and that came out of my love of, well, bundt cakes. Pretty much because my grandmother used to make this rum cake that was just absolutely fantastic. And so one year I decided as a Christmas present to create a pamphlet of a whole bunch of bundt cake recipes. And everyone really liked it. So I thought, I bet I could turn this into a book. And this was in the early days of print on demand. And there was a company called Lulu, which still exists, that was for $99, you could get an ISBN and publish a book in print that would sell on Amazon. So I spent my $99, and the book sold well enough that I recouped my money within 6 months without even marketing, because I didn't know what I was doing. But that experience egged me on. And so I went on to publish another cookbook, and then I started writing business books. And now I write books that are primarily targeted to fellow authors.
That's great, Carmen Spence. Amazing. I like. So I move my next question. My next question is, what does your system help entrepreneurships?
So what is what again?
What does your system help entrepreneur?
I basically help them write, publish, and market the right book. So I help them get the right idea that will set their book up to best support the goals they have for the book. And then I guide them through the process of writing and publishing and marketing that book so that it does get the goal that they wanted the book to achieve.
Okay, that's great, Karma. So my next question is this: what is authorship important for business growth?
Research has shown that business owners who are authors tend to get more clients, higher quality clients, better speaking engagements, get paid for those speaking engagements, are more likely to be quoted in the media, and attract better partnerships. That's not my own research, that's out there in the world. And so when you have a book, all those things can happen. But when you have the right book, they happen faster and better.
Okay, that's wonderful. So my next question is this: what make a successful business book?
A successful business book, it does three things. It does something for the author so that they have a personal why they're writing the book. It does something for the reader. It solves a top of mind problem, and it does something for the business. It connects the reader to the business so that the business can grow.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. So my next question is this: how do you help clients identify their expertise?
Well, usually they come to me already knowing what their expertise is. What I help them do is clarify it so that it can be communicated easily and succinctly and be easy to understand within the context of a book. So often someone will come to me with lots of expertise, but you can't have a book cover lots of expertise. A book needs to be more focused, or the reader gets bored, puts the book down, doesn't read it. So I help them fine tune what is that one thing they want this book to do, and how does that connect to their business, and how do they help guide the reader through a mini transformation that basically earns trust so that the reader eventually says, yes, I want to work with that author.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. So my next question is this: what challenge do entrepreneurs face when writing?
Um, there's a lot of them, but probably the most common ones is self-doubt. Another is using time as an enemy. A lot of writers think they don't have the time to do the writing when actually they often do. They're just they're using time as an avoidance mechanism. And then some entrepreneurs really do struggle with writing. They aren't writers. And so at that point, I encourage them to work with like a ghostwriter, or to create an outline that helps them write more easily.
Okay, that's great, Karma. So my next question is this: how do you overcome writer block?
The first step is to identify the root cause of the block. In my philosophy, there are six root causes of writer's block. One is mindset. There's something that you're telling yourself, a false belief, that is blocking you. Two is an emotional thing. So it can be something that has happened in your life, like you just lost a loved one or a pet or a job, and that's blocking you. Or it could be something that the manuscript that you're writing is triggering an emotional response. That happens a lot when you're starting to tell personal stories. There may be something unresolved there that is causing you to block. The third one is environmental. So that could be lighting, it could be sounds, it could be smells, it could be an ergonomic situation. And that leads to the fourth one, which is something in your physicality, in your body. That could be a health concern. It could be a medication you're taking. It could be lack of sleep. It could be poor ergonomics so that you're uncomfortable when you're at your desk writing. The fifth one is what I call a creative kraken. It's something in the creative process that is misaligned. And what I found in my research is that sometimes you're writing a story and you go off on a tangent, or you're going down a direction that your subconscious knows is going to make things not work for your story. And so it stops you before you get there. But it can feel like something much more urgent. And the sixth and final one is a spiritual disconnection. When you disconnect from the divine, however you think of that, whether that's your muse or God or the universe, when you lose that connection with your spiritual side, you also tend to lose your connection to your creativity, because that is the source of your creativity. So the first step in overcoming writer's block is understanding which of those 6 root causes is causing the block. Then you can find a cure for that specific root cause.
Okay, nice. Well then, that's amazing. So my next question is this: what is the first step to becoming an author?
Deciding. You decide, I want to be an author. Once you make that decision, you're more likely to do all the other things. But it has to be like a deep, not just I'd like to be an author. It has to be like, no, I am going to be an author. I am doing the things that become an author. That's the first step.
Okay, that's amazing. So my next question is this: how long does it typically take to write a book?
It depends on the book. It depends on the length of the book. It depends on the person. It depends on your time. I mean, it can be anything. I've written a book in a weekend, and I've written a book in 8 years. So it's like, it really depends on how long the book is, how much research you need to do, how much time you've set aside in your general schedule, and how well you get into flow when you're writing. So honestly, the actual writing itself doesn't need to take long. What tends to take the longest is the preamble to the writing, and then everything that comes out after the book is actually written.
Okay, that's great. It's amazing. So my next question is this: what published option do you recommend it?
It depends on your goal. For most entrepreneurial authors, I recommend self-publishing, and there's a variety of ways you can do that. Usually you publish on Amazon and then also use something like Ingram Spark or Lulu to get it into bookstores and libraries. That piece of the publishing puzzle is primarily for visibility and authority. For client attraction, I recommend actually either handing copies or emailing e-copies, or doing one of those ones where you sell yourself and not through a bookseller, because that is more likely to get it into the right hands.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this: how do you help clients choose a book topic?
I have a framework that I walk them through, but in a high level, it's the first thing they do is they sort of mindstorm. That's the step. I call it mindstorm, where they just brain dump all the potential ideas they have for a book. The next step is they take a look at their customer transformation roadmap. And that is the transformation that they take a client through from the first time a client works with them all the way until the end. And then they figure out what the milestones are. Your book, your best book, is going to be mapped to one of those milestones. So then they take the ideas they mind mapped, and they map them to those milestones. Then they choose a milestone that will get them the kinds of clients they want to attract right now. If they want to attract lots of them, it's usually near the beginning of the client journey. If they want to do their dreamy ones, then usually that's somewhere in the middle or the end. And then once they've whittled it down to no more than 3 ideas, we validate that idea by doing research on the internet to find out, are people going to be interested in that topic, and is money being spent on that topic?
Okay, that's great. It's amazing. So my next question is this: what role does marketing play in publishing success?
Marketing is the first thing you do before you write a book. Excuse me, I need to take a drink.
Okay, okay.
Marketing is something that happens throughout the process. Without marketing, the book isn't going to sell and you aren't going to attract clients. So marketing comes first. You use marketing ideas to figure out what is the right book. And then while you're writing it and producing it, you're marketing the idea that you are writing a book, that you are producing a book, that a book is coming out. Then you launch the book, and then you market that book until the book becomes irrelevant to your business.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this: how can a book increase business credibility?
When you write the right book, it codifies and your framework, your knowledge, and therefore and it communicates it to your ideal clients in a way that is digestible. So now what you know, what your knowledge is, what you wanna be known for is accessible, and that builds authority. But on top of that, because you now have it out in the world, now it's more likely to be picked up by AI, and then AI starts recommending you to people that may not have found you otherwise. So it's sort of a double thing. A book helps you in the real world in the traditional way, and it helps you in this new digital age of AI.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Yes. So my next question is: what are the benefits of self-publishing?
Um, Self-publishing, it's faster, you have more control, which is actually a double-edged sword. In traditional publishing, it can take 2 years to publish a book, at least, because you have to go through all these gatekeep first you have to find a publisher that will take you, then they take a while, and then you've got editors, and it's a really long process, and if you're trying to get your clients now, you don't wanna do that. It is better to publish yourself because if you want, you can publish the book today, test it in the market, find out something you wanna fix, go back, reiterate, have a second edition, and within a year, you can have a book go through multiple editions if that's something you want to do to get the right version of your book out there. That's often why I recommend publishing an ebook first, because then you don't have to get a new ISBN every time you publish an ebook. You just don't give it an ISBN, and then you just update, update, update until it's the version you want. Then publish it in physical book, because once it's published in physical book, it's attached to the ISBN, and if you need to come out with a new edition, it needs a new ISBN, and that's the number that the world identifies your book with.
Okay, that's great. So my next question is this: how do you balance writing and marketing?
Um, that's an interesting question because they are one and the same, and they are completely different. The writing itself is more finite because there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, whereas marketing is ongoing. So if when you're in the writing phase of your book, you need to set aside chunks of time in which to do it, where you aren't going to be interrupted, because it is really hard to write coherently if you're being interrupted. Marketing, on the other hand, can be done in this moment, in that moment. In fact, right now, what I'm doing right now is marketing. I'm sharing my stories, I'm sharing my ideas, and I'm doing it in a way that's going to be pushed out to other people. So marketing is just something that happens as part of your daily life. You're doing it all the time. Writing is something that's more finite, and you need to set aside time for it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, right. So my next question is this: what common mistake do first-time author make?
Uh, One is writing the wrong book, because they write the book that's on their heart. They spend a lot of time and effort writing the manuscript, and they didn't think before they started writing to figure out who are they writing it for? Why are they writing it? There's all these things that you need to decide before you write your book, or you tend to write a bunch of stuff that you don't use. Another common mistake is waiting. And that's waiting until you're brave enough, waiting until someone else validates you, waiting until you've already spoken on stages, waiting until you've made it, whatever made it means for you. a book helps you get to those places faster, start with the book. Even if you don't publish that first book because it's not quite right, at least you went through the process and clarified your ideas, your knowledge, your frameworks, and forged yourself into the person you needed to be. Your sound is off.
Sorry. My next question is this. Please tell me that how can entrepreneur find time to write?
That is the question, isn't it? There are lots of different ways. There's different techniques that work for different people. Some people actually book it on their calendar. That has never worked for me. If something's on my calendar, unless it involves another human being, it can easily just be ignored. But that's one technique that some people use. Another is take a recorder with you. And honestly, if you've got a phone, you've got a recorder. What you do is whenever you have a moment while you're walking, doing your morning exercise, while you're waiting in traffic, whenever you have a moment, talk your book into it. And these days, one thing you can do is you can actually talk it into AI, and AI will automatically transcribe it for you. Another thing is if I'm using it on paper, sometimes I will bring that to doctor appointments because doctors are notorious for making you wait in their waiting room. Perfect time to work on your book. So those are just some 3 ideas.
Okay, your idea is really amazing. I like. So my next question is this. Please tell me that what makes a book memorable?
A book, what makes a book memorable? The author.
Yeah.
Basically, no, that's what makes a book. It's the author that makes the book memorable. It's their stories. It's their take. It's what makes their book unique is who they bring to the page. So, for example, in Public Speaking Superpowers, I love geeky stuff. And so I used my love of superheroes to inform the entire book. And in the process, I interviewed a whole bunch of people and I told their stories. So that book was full of interesting stories from my life and from the life of professional speakers. It's those stories that some people avoid because they think, "Oh no, my book needs to be how to." Even a how to needs to have a story that illustrates the points and shows how you did it in your life or a client did it in their life, and that helps the reader see themselves in what you're teaching.
Okay, that's great. It's wonderful. So my next question is this: how can author their target audience?
How can an author what?
I'm saying that. Sorry, what is your favorite part of coaching author?
What is my Oh, there's lots of favorite parts. But I think the one that I always come to over and over again is when they have a light bulb moment. They suddenly something clicks and they see something in a new way. And they often think it's me that did that, but all I did was ask them questions. They answered them and came to the realization themselves. And I love that because everyone I work with is brilliant in their own way. And when they can see their own brilliance, that is amazing.
Okay, that's amazing. So my second last question is this: what motivates you, client most?
What motivates me for what?
What motivates your client most?
Oh, what that is very individual. Everybody is motivated by their own things. I found in general, the through line through most people is their own personal why. So one person may be motivated because they want to right a wrong in the world. Another person may be motivated because they want to buy their father's house or they want their children to have less worries than when they grew up. everyone's why is unique to their own life circumstance and story.
Okay, so my last question is this: what motivate would you give inspiring author?
Believe in yourself. No matter how many things may block you, get in the way, you wouldn't have the desire to write a book if you weren't capable of writing a book. I believe in you.
Okay, so please give me any advice for viewers who can watching you.
What was that again?
Please give me any message, any advice, so we will listen you.
Give advice on how to listen to me?
Anybody you are experienced, you are coaching, related everything.
Okay. I still don't quite understand the question. I
I'm
really
saying
don't.
that I think that give me advice, give me message.
A message for you
Viewers,
personally?
yes, any
Okay.
related.
Well, I've already said one is you know, you are being very brave in doing what you're doing. A lot of people are afraid of the camera. They're afraid of going live. They're afraid of falling on their face in public. But you know what? It's okay. Falling on your face in public, I do that almost daily. And that's what makes you human. And by doing these things and interviewing these people that you're interviewing, you are learning skills that will serve you well as you head into life. So keep going, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, thank you. You coming my show, the talk room. Well, thank you. So you give me your very precious time. This was our interview. I hope you like it. We will meet the next guest. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself. Pakistan Zindabad. Rehan School Zindabad.